Hey guys, welcome to my channel if you're new, or welcome back if you're not. So for today's video I'm not going to be in it, but I will be showing you how I clean my brushes. This is my brush belt that I use for my professional kit, and I'm just cleaning some of the brushes at the moment. So everything in here is already cleaned, and then I have a little basket of brushes to be cleaned. And I get asked quite a lot what I do to clean them, so I thought I would show you in a video. So I'm just going to set these aside. So I'm first going to show you how I spot clean. So I spot clean my professional brushes after every single use, and then maybe once a week, or it depends how busy I am, but every now and then I will give them a deep clean. And I might do that more regularly with things like foundation brushes, where they can get a lot of product built up in them. So first I'll show you how I spot clean, and then we'll head into the kitchen and I will show you how I deep clean. So my brush cleanser of choice is the MAC brush cleanser. It comes in a bottle like this, and it has this little click out spout where you can kind of pour it out, but I prefer to change it into a spray bottle like this. And I find spraying it in a mist rather than pouring it means that I have much more control about how much I use, and there's less likelihood of me using too much. Then for products that are harder to break down, like lipstick or gel eyeliner, I'll go for the Inglot waterproof makeup remover. Now this is just a little travel bottle that they do, but it is quite handy for my kit. And you used to be able to get a big industrial size bottle online, which is what I used to use for my brushes, and also what we would use when I worked in Inglot in the shop. But from what I can see, you can't get that on the website anymore. So I like to have a bigger bottle that I keep kind of on my station when I'm working from my studio and for my personal brushes, and I like the little travel one for in my kit when I'm on the go. I'll also just touch on the Inglot brush cleanser. It comes in a spray bottle, which is handier so you don't have to transfer it. It's clear, but this one is more alcohol based, so I find that it doesn't break down product as well. It doesn't get the product out of my brush as well, but it will sanitize really well. So this is another good one for the kit when you're on set, or when you have a lot of faces to do and you're cleaning brushes in between, and your main priority is just that they're sanitized and bacteria free. And I also forgot to mention that because it's alcohol based, the brushes will dry quicker, so that's a bonus as well when you're in a hurry. So in those instances it is handier to have a more alcohol based cleanser. And then I also just have this little mini spray bottle, again with the MAC cleanser in it, for when I do need to break down product from my brushes on the go. So then what I use those cleansers on is kitchen paper. And I like to get something that's quite durable and thicker, rather than just the cheapest, because I find that if it's just thin tissue paper, that the brushes and the wetness will start to kind of rub through and it'll start to break up after a while. Whereas if it's that little bit thicker, you'll be able to clean more brushes on it. So I literally just take my spray bottle of MAC cleanser, give it a couple of spritzes around, and then take my brush, and for a brush like this where it's like a fluffy blended brush where it's dome shape, I'll start to swirl it to start getting the product out, and I'll swirl it then the other way, so we're not just going in one direction with the hairs. And then I'll also give it a little bit of a side to side and flip it over and give it another side to side. So basically you're trying to get into the brush hairs from all angles. So you're not just going to wipe it on one side and then have the other side dirty. You want to get all the product out from in between the hairs. So then with more of a flat brush, like a shadow brush, this is a large shadow brush, I would do just more of the side to sides on each side, because it doesn't have those rounded edges, it just has basically two flat sides. And just keep flipping it over until the product is out. So that needs another spritz because there's still product coming out of it. And I'm not using too much pressure. I don't want to ruin the shape of the bristles in any way, so I don't want to kind of dig it into the paper and bend them at all. You just want to kind of keep with the shape of the brush, and then I'll just go to the tip and give that a little wiggle in there as well. But again, I'm not digging it down, I'm not splaying out the bristles, because that'll ruin your shape. And then once there's no more product coming out of it, you're nice and clean. So that's nice and easy for brushes that you're only using like powder products on. But then for say like a liner brush where this has been coated with gel liner, that's going to be a lot harder to break down. So if I show you with the regular brush cleanser, it's not going to do a whole lot. It'll start kind of flaking off and getting a little bit of it off, but that's not much at all. There's still an awful lot of product in there. So we'll take our waterproof makeup remover, because that's made to break down these kinds of products on your eyes and on your face. So it will do the same on your brushes. So I have a little bit there on the tissue paper, and then I just swirl my brush into it so it's getting all in there, and you can see the difference in what that took off already. So once I've kind of gotten all in the makeup remover, I like to then just wipe it on a dry patch of the tissue just to get the residue of that, say, dirty makeup remover off it. And then I'll take another little bit, so I'm just stamping it over, so I'm just getting a little bit on there. I'm going back in and getting the rest off. So this ensures that I'm using only as much product as I need to get the liner off. I'm not going to pour loads onto my tissue paper, swirl it all around and get it all dirty, and it's not getting its full use out of it, or I won't have too much left over, because you can go through these products really quickly if you're using a lot of brushes on a daily basis. So a lot of that product is already off. So then once the majority of the product is off, I just tend to give it a little twist in the tissue paper to get the residue off, and then I like to give it a spritz with like my regular brush cleanser, or say with like the Inglot one, and that will just ensure that it's nice and clean. So as you can see, the Inglot one didn't take any product off it. If I kept going with the oil, I'd probably still get black coming out of it, because this brush is constantly being used for liner. So in general, there will be a little bit of residue in at the root of the brush. So the oil would have kept breaking down the product, but as you can see, the Inglot one doesn't really break down much product at all. It just came out clean, but it served its purpose of sanitizing the brush. So I know that it is safe to use. So we'll just do that once more with a lip brush. So I have one here. And again, rather than swirling, I'm doing more side to sides and swiping motions, getting off that residue. And then I'll just get the tip and give that a little swirl so that we're coming in at all angles. So then once I can see that the majority of the product is gone out of it, just give it a spritz with a regular brush cleanser or an alcohol-based brush cleanser, and make sure it's nice and sanitized. So basically that is how I spot clean my brushes. For things like foundation brushes, what I tend to do is use my MAC brush cleanser to break down as much as that can do, and then when there's just some stubborn product left in it, I'll go over to my makeup remover, my waterproof makeup remover, and get the rest out with that. But thicker brushes like this will tend to be a lot more time consuming than small shadow brushes that you're only trying to get eyeshadow out of, or small little lip brushes like this. So what you can also do with these is deep clean them after every use if you prefer, or just depending on what you find easiest, to spot clean them after every use and then deep clean them every now and then. So now we'll head into the kitchen and I will show you how I deep clean. So here we are at my kitchen sink, the lovely kitchen sink, and basically what I'm going to be doing is shampooing my brushes, and I use the Johnson's baby shampoo, just the regular one, and warm water. So the first thing I do is I dampen the brush and also my hand, so get a bit of warm water in there. Then I'll take a little bit of the baby shampoo, and I use baby shampoo because it's nice and gentle on the hairs, and then take your brush and the same kind of motions that I was doing in my spot cleaning. So for a brush like this that's domed, I'll do swirls. You always want to go kind of with the brush hair, you don't want to use too much pressure, and basically just get in there and break down that product. And I just do this with my hand. There are some new products that have come out that are like little silicone gloves that have kind of bumps or ridges on them that you can wear over your hand, which is quite handy if your skin tends to be sensitive to products like shampoos or soaps and things, and it avoids your hands getting all pruny and wrinkly after washing loads of brushes. So that is an option to use as well. I just haven't picked one up myself. So I'm just repeating the process right now, but you could also just DIY it and use like a silicone oven glove or a silicone pot holder, anything with a bit of texture on it if you wanted to. So then I'm squeezing out the shampoo as I go along. So I'm getting all of like the dirty water and shampoo out of it. So it's getting a lot cleaner already, and I'll give it another once over. So it's basically very similar to the spot cleaning. You're just going over it with a little bit of product at a time, and you just keep going until there's no more product coming out. Like that colour of that shampoo was very different to when I first did it. That shampoo is coming out quite clean. And again, you're trying not to splay the bristles too much. You're not going to put loads of pressure down and stamp it into your hand, but just light pressure and movements. So then to really rinse out that shampoo, I'll swirl it in my hand under the running water, because we don't want to leave that shampoo then sitting in the bristles. So once I'm finished cleaning it, I just kind of give it a little bit of a shape so that the bristles are going in the shape that they're intended. So then once the brushes are clean and shaped, I leave them to dry. So what you can do is just leave them on the edge of like a countertop or a table, just with the end kind of over the edge so the air can get at all angles. And that's what I used to do for a very long time. Now when I'm washing my brushes, I tend to do a lot at the one time. So I'll take them in batches, and when I'm washing at the sink, I'll go through maybe 10 brushes and have them lined out here, and then I'll put them in my Janbeautary stand. And that is this product right here. So this is by the brand Janbeautary. And what you do is you basically just stick your brush through these little silicone holes, but they have these little flaps so that they kind of expand with the size of the brush. So you come from the bottom up, just stick it up that way, and it'll hold it in the downward position, so you know that all the water is going to get out and it's going to dry properly. So this is how I like to dry my brushes after a deep clean. So I have 2 of this size, and I generally like fill it all up. And then I also have a smaller size, which is suited more to like shadow brushes or smaller concealer brushes or lip brushes, because a thinner handle going through one of these larger gaps, they don't tend to sit right, they kind of go at an angle or it just won't hold them. So they came out with a smaller size that will fit those thinner brush handles. So these have been an absolute lifesaver, and they're quite easy to store as well because they come apart. They come flat, like in a little box like this. This is the actual box that one of them came in. So you can keep them in their boxes if you like. And what they are is basically you get the top and then the 2 legs. So this is starting to sound like an infomercial for them, but I just really love these. So you just slot one into the other, like that. So you get the little stand, and then you slot on the top, and it kind of clicks in, like that. So as I say, when I'm normally cleaning brushes, I have a whole load to do because I'm just lazy and I leave them all pile up. So I'll fill these all up, and if I have any extras, then I'll lay them on top, kind of in between the brushes, so that the little brush hairs are sticking out the end and the air can get to them. So I thought these were just such a good invention, because if you have a lot of brushes to clean, you need a lot of counter space to have them lying out. Whereas these, you can have a lot of brushes in a small space and they're still going to dry properly, and it ensures that everything is drying out of them. Because when I first started using these, one thing that I did notice that I kind of wasn't sure of, but it is a benefit to it, is that sometimes when they're dry, and I'll give a feel off them to like make sure that they're properly dry, you can kind of feel that there might be a little bit of residue left from maybe some of the shampoo. And nothing major or anything, it's not sudsy or anything. I just noticed that I could feel just a tiny little bit of residue. And at first that kind of put me off, I didn't like that, but then I realised otherwise that's just going to be sitting in the bristles, and that's not good. That's kind of defeating the purpose of cleaning everything out. So if I do find that with any of the brushes that there's a little bit of residue, I'll just get a little bit of like the regular brush cleanser and give it a wipe, so it's perfectly clean and I know that everything has come out of it. So guys, that is it from me and my brushes and my little Janbeautary trees. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give a thumbs up by clicking the like button that's down below. Also subscribe while you're here so you don't miss out on any other videos. And I'm sorry that I haven't been in shot in this video, but I have no makeup on, and I kind of feel like I'm like one of those mysterious characters, like the owner in Tom and Jerry.
What in the world's going on in here?
But anyway, thanks so much for watching guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!